Good morning, everyone. My name is David Raju, and I'm the product manager for 3-axis and 5-axis milling solutions. Today, I will walk you through our amazing and 3-axis milling solution, and we will also see a little bit about the 5-axis milling solution for mold and die machining. So, what is Pro3D HSR HSM? First of all, this is a new generation high-speed machining 3-axis solution. You can machine any component, 3D component. It could be aerospace, it could be medical, general engineering components, and you could machine the most complex die casting dies and mold and die components. So here I've kept some images of the different components. These components were machined in Cadwin Technology Center in India. Pro3D HSR focus on creating toolpaths for roughing and rust roughing process, whereas Pro3D HSM focus on creating safe and reliable toolpaths for semi-finishing and finishing process. Here are the key major benefits of this technology. It built on modern architecture. All the algorithms built on a 64 architecture, and it uses latest toolpath advanced algorithms to seamlessly handle complex geometries and the toolpaths. And it also uses multi-core for faster toolpath calculations. And then we have all the strategies in this technology generates collision-free toolpaths against machining surfaces, in-process workpiece to make sure it generates safe and reliable toolpaths. And we have smart links and optimized retracts. And then we have optimized point distribution and advanced arc fit to achieve excellent surface finish. Pro3D HSR offers several machining strategies. The hatch, contour, and rust roughing. And then finishing offers various cycles. Constancy for finishing steep areas, and linear for finishing shallow areas, and combined for machining steep and shallow areas together. And then we have the excellent constant step over. You could use this technology, you could use this cycle for machining steep and shallow areas. And then rest finishing to process the corners which were not finished by the previous finishing operations. And then finally, we have horizontal milling, which is a dedicated operation to machine flat surfaces or planar surfaces. Let's see some highlights. I always say these are the game-changing functionalities in 3-axis technology. This technology uses a multi-core. It utilizes the full computing power of the latest workstations with up to 24 cores for ultra-fast toolpath calculations. And the recalculations are also faster thanks to its caching mechanism. Each stage of the toolpath calculation is cached and stored in the disk, and then so that subsequent toolpath modification are made calculation faster. For example, if you change the links, the links data algorithm, calculates the toolpaths, and the calculation becomes much faster. Multi-surface stock allowances, you can define various surface groups with the different stock allowances. And this functionality is very useful when you're machining mold and die components, especially this parting surfaces and the component areas usually require different surface offsets for applying different manufacturing process. And it built in with intelligent collision avoidance system. Until SolidCAM 2023, only the passes are generated collision-free against the in-process stock when you enable the check with in-process stock. From SolidCAM 2024, the whole tool path, it could be passes, leads, links, regardless of your the link settings and lead settings, SolidCAM will automatically generate collision-free toolpath against in-process stock because it knows in-process stock at each Z level, and it can generate safe and reliable toolpaths. And then it can suggest the effective outside holder length for machining the part. It helps us to use optimal tool length, neither too long or nor too short. And the uniqueness of this feature is when the outside holder length, the actual outside holder length is less than what SolidCAM is suggested, it will show you the gouges detected by the software. And then we have new selected surfaces 3D boundaries. This is the newly implemented inside Pro3D HSM. Since Pro3D HSM is the model-based toolpath generator, it needs precise boundaries for machining local surfaces. So thanks to our new selected surfaces boundaries, you can select any complex geometry. It could be convex, concave, combination of both. The new selected surface boundary will automatically generate a precise 3D boundary and send it for the toolpath calculation. Along with this, now we have 3D boundaries, and SolidCAM has to trim the passes precisely to that boundary. So in the tool page, you have trimming criteria. You can see on the left image, when the tool tip point is selected, you can see the spikes on the adjacent surfaces. And whereas on the right image, you can see the tool contact point is enabled. SolidCAM is able to precisely trim the tool path exactly to the defined boundaries. And this way, you can efficiently machine or precisely machine the local surfaces. Then we have smart feeds. I also call these intelligent feeds. And Pro3D HSR HSM designed to intelligently manage the feed rates while machining complex core and cavities, especially on the corners. It smartly modulates the machine's velocity with gradual deceleration, with smooth acceleration post-machining corner. And this sophisticated system significantly increases the high feed rates in the less constrained areas, optimizing the whole machining time with less tool wear. And this will help us to efficiently machine the part with accuracy in any various machining cutting conditions. And then it built in with efficient arc generator, and it is capable of creating arcs in any plane, and also capable of creating 3D arcs for spiral tool parts. This will significantly improve the surface quality, and it also drastically reduces the NC file size. You can see on the left image, the roughing toolpath, without the arcs, the NC file size contains 361,000 blocks, whereas with arcs, 145,000 blocks. Approximately 60% NC file size is reduced. Whereas in finishing, G-code without the arcs is approximately 69,000 blocks, whereas with arcs, it reduced to 37,000 blocks. Approximately 45% NC file size is reduced. And then we have high feed cutters. Usually, high feed cutters defined as a bull mill with a programmable tool radius provided by the tool manufacturer. However, in this case, the tool path that is created with the bull mill, and you see the resultant stock, and the stock that was generated after the real machining, they doesn't match. So when you create a subsequent rest roughing operation, what happens? The CAM creates the tool path which is based on the resultant stock provided by the bull mill. And when you run this toolpath on the machine, you have a problem. You will sometimes find the more load on the tool because the stock is more on the real part. So how do we fix this issue? From SolidCAM 2024, this system actually takes the exact shape of your high-feed cutters. It could be round inserts, it could be square shoulder inserts, it could be triangle inserts, convex tip, any shape. It can adapt the exact shape for mathematical toolpath calculation. Hence, it can generate safe and reliable toolpaths. And rest finishing based on the stock. You can effectively process the rest areas which were not processed by the previous operation. And like we had the trim to boundaries in the constant boundaries, when you're working with the previous operation stock, you can also tell the system to exactly trim the passes to the provided stock. And this way, you can efficiently process the rest areas. Here we have some developments roadmap as far as Pro3D HSR HSM is concerned. We lack fixture definition for pencil and horizontal milling. So this is going to be available in SolidCAM 2026. And then we are also working on bringing the projection toolpath, like what we have in HSS and Sim5 axis. The same strategies will also be available in Pro3D HSM. And then ultra-surface finishing in Pro3D HSM. Until now, the toolpaths are being calculated on the STL, mesh. So we are working on a different approach where the SolidCAM can take actually the NURBS surface data and use it for the toolpath calculation in order to achieve ultra-surface finishing. So initially, this will be available for the linear machining, and then it will be extended to the other cycles. So toolpath editing, it's not a new subject for us. It's there for a long time. Today, I want to assure you that this toolpath editing will be soon available in SolidCAM 2026. So apart from this, we have made some developments. Their prototype solutions are already there. In finishing, we lack corner finishing, automatic rest finishing. So this is a new generation corner finishing. You can see on the right image, the stitch between the steep and shallow areas, it's very nice. And you can create the rest finishing toolpath using previous operation tool and also the stock. So this we are going to test it very soon on the machine, and it is planned to be released in SolidCAM 2026. And then we have the new job, Auto 3+2 horizontal milling. Let's imagine you have 10 flat surfaces from different directions, right? So with current SolidCAM approach, you have to create 10 operations with the different coordinate systems, right? So how do we simplify this workflow? With this new Auto 3+2 horizontal milling, the SolidCAM automatically detects the flat surfaces from each directions and create the toolpaths. And from 10 operations, and you will end up creating only one operation for all the 10 surfaces. So the automatic, the detection mode could be automatic, semi-automatic, and the manual. So the same like we had in the Auto 3+2 roughing. And then we have rest finishing by outside holder length. Until now, we can do rest finishing based on the previous operation stock, based on the previous operation tool. Now, we are going to have the third rest finishing option, which you can create a rest finishing operation using the outside holder length of the previous operation. And this way, you can efficiently machine those areas we usually call, these are the collided areas. So you can process these collided areas easily just by giving the information of what is your previous operation outside holder length. And then we have excited information over here. We have compared Pro3D HSR HSM against one of the the leading CAM software for mold and die machining. And there are some things which are really impressive in the Pro3D HSR HSM. So as you all probably know, the calculation time, of course, we are much faster than any CAM software. In this case, we are 3 times faster. Sometimes it goes up to 5 times faster. And then SolidCAM has capable of creating the arcs in any plane and 3D arcs as well for spiral toolpaths, whereas the competitor still generates the points in the toolpath. And then we have high feed tool support. We don't define the bull mill with the corner radius. We define exact tool shape and use it for accurate and efficient high feed machining, whereas competitors still define these high feed cutters, bull mill with a programmable radius. And then we have a smart feeds. They have constant feeds. And then Pro3D HSM has, HSR HSM has talk-aware toolpath. And this is very important. At each stage of the toolpath, SolidCAM analyzes the in-process talk at each Z level in order to generate safe toolpaths. It could be passes, it could be links, it could be leads. Whereas in the competitor, they still depends on the tool clearances. So ease of use, of course, we have a nice structure, user interface, and then easy to learn. And then we have most of the things are automatically created inside Pro3D HSR HSM. You don't have to manually think how to approach from the outside, where to ramp, where not to ramp. All these decisions are made automatically by this technology. That's where the Pro3D HSR HSM makes the programmer job easier. And this rating was actually given by some of the programmers who has 15 years of experience in the competitor software, and they are currently using SolidCAM. So to summarize, we have faster toolpath calculations, we have safe toolpaths, and we have a new selected surface boundaries to efficiently machine the local surfaces. And then we have optimized tool length for safe machining. And we have high feed tool definitions. So we have seen all the functionalities. Let's see it in action. Oh, can I see the?
SolidCAM's Pro3D HSR HSM is new generation high-speed machining technology designed for machining molds, die casting dies that allows you to generate roughing, rest roughing, and finishing toolpaths quickly and efficiently on any given complex 3D model or prismatic model.
So now let's see some sneak and peek about Pro 5-axis milling. What is Pro 5-axis milling? This is Pro3D HSM and combined with the Sim 5-axis milling tool-axis control. So this technology is designed to machine mold and die parts in 5-axis mode. So we have this part, complicated die here. Just imagine, finishing this component using, 5-axis surface-based operations. It is a model-based toolpath generator. And then we have fully automated tool-axis control with gouge-free toolpaths. No gouge check. All the gouge checking is taken care by the SolidCAM. And then you can completely, the toolpaths are completely automated for machining deep, steep and shallow areas, basically. And it can effectively machine the deep cavities and cores with smallest possible outside holder length. So this is the workflow for defining the Pro 5-axis milling operation. You define the operation, and then select the tool. Currently, this technology supports only the spear tools. And then choose the tool axis control direction. You have two options, optimized collision-free tilting and the dynamic collision-free tilting. And then choose, in the tool axis direction, you have a few options. You can tilt through points, you can tilt through lines, or you can tell the systems, I want to tilt using a fixed angle direction. So it is always the machining direction. And then choose the collision avoidance. We have two options, optimized collision-free tilting and dynamic collision-free tilting. So it supports all the cycles that are available in the Pro3D HSM. Here I mentioned the three major cycles. 5-axis steep finishing, which is a constant Z milling. Then 5-axis shallow finishing, which is linear milling. And then we have corner finishing. Let's see a small video on this. So before I finish, every great technology has a great team. We have ModuleWorks, who is our software development partner, who helps us to build this amazing product. Thanks to Dr. Yavuj and his team. I think Sebi is here. Thank you very much. And Gennady and Evgenia, they are the ones who integrates this product inside SolidCAM. Thank you very much. And Mega, Thomas, they takes care of the QA. So before I close it, I want to say that with all this amazing functionality, Pro3D HSR and HSM, and Pro 5-axis milling, 3-axis and 5-axis. It's the ultimate solution for machining any 3D component, especially mold and die casting dies. With that, I say thank you very much.